As promised, Challenge Charlie has taken a slight detour on the way back from Johannesburg, and we've actually come to Cape Town. The plan had been for me and Lauren to spend the weekend doing 3 really different challenges. We were going to go sand surfing, then do cage diving with sharks, and then end off with a trek up Table Mountain. But as you can see, the weather had other plans. That is Table Mountain behind the haze. We didn't actually see the mountain in the entire 4 days that we were there, so hardly the safest conditions to climb it in. About the only activity still running was a tour of the Cape Peninsula. First stop was Seal Island. I'll let you guess how it got its name. Our next stop was Boulders Beach, home to hundreds of African penguins. Originally, Lauren and I had planned to canoe to the beach, but once again, because of the weather, we had to change our plans, though the views were still amazing. Our final stop was a cycle ride to the Cape of Good Hope, the most southwesterly point of the African continent, and it was so windy that the wind actually blew me on my bum as we climbed this cliff. From there, it was a 40-minute walk to Cape Point. So it's not Table Mountain, but we are at Cape Point, which is the most southern point of Africa. We only had to walk for about 40 minutes to get here, so bit of a cop-out this time, not really a challenge, but we've seen a bit of Cape Town, which is cool considering the weather. The coastal walk is actually really, really pretty, no matter what the weather is like. And then the view from the lighthouse, which is about another 10-minute walk from Cape Point, as you can see, is amazing, even if it isn't the most southerly point in Africa. I think I'm going to blame the tour guide for that bit of misinformation. Right, now anyone who knows me well knows I don't really do being a tourist very well, and so on the final day in Cape Town, against all my own advice, I disappeared up to Lion's Peak. In my defence, it is actually considerably lower than Table Mountain, but to be honest, the visibility was still absolutely appalling, and the higher I got, the more and more it started to look like the pinnacles, and clearly the less safe it was that I was walking it on my own. Luckily I did make it down in one piece, and despite my little adventure, I really didn't feel like I'd properly done Cape Town. It is such a cool city with so many brilliant activities to offer that it just seemed like a real shame that we just didn't get to do any of the things that we'd planned. So Challenge Charlie is definitely going to have to return to Cape Town, and I'm going to have to cage dive with sharks and sand surf and climb, or at least see, Table Mountain. Let's just hope that the next challenge is a little bit more successful.